Good afternoon, everyone. We're last seen somewhere, and today we're back in Glastonbury to do the second part of our Glastonbury video.
All the things we didn't manage to film last time. The weather was so bad last time.
Yeah, if you'd watched our first video,
the wind.
you would see that it got way too windy and we were losing daylight. So
it was getting dark. The weather was awful.
Yeah,
it got awful. So we're going to go and see the tour today.
Yeah, and the White Springs, and a few places around the high street.
Yeah, a few places on the high street as well. All the things we didn't manage to get in our last video, really.
There's such a lot to see in Glastonbury. It's so interesting that there's lots to do.
There is lots to do. And you're not going to do your boring Glastonbury fact this video?
No, not this time.
So that's a bonus for everybody. So yeah, come and have a look and see what there is to see.
Yeah, come on. So this is the way up to the tour. If you're looking for the footpath, it's not very well signposted.
It's not very well signposted at all.
And there's the sign, and it's sort of just a little lane.
And the lane goes
up the side of some houses.
Up this hill, up the side of the houses. But yeah, this is what you're looking for. It's not well signposted at all.
But it's just down from the White Springs. So the building you can see behind us is the Glastonbury Tour. And we just walked up the Glastonbury Tour.
We have just walked up the Glastonbury Tour. It was one hell of a walk. It's a steep old climb.
Very steep, and
we couldn't record up there. It was so windy.
Yeah,
it was blowing a gale,
there.
so we decided to come back down and record down here to talk about it.
Yeah, but the structure that you can see is actually called St Michael's Tower. And it used to be part of St Michael's Church, which was built in the 14th century.
It was made of wood originally, wasn't it?
So the original church that stood there, it was made of wood. And destroyed in an earthquake in 1275, I believe.
Which is amazing, really, an earthquake in the UK.
Yeah.
Destroyed a church, that's mad.
So, yeah.
Absolutely mad. It also used to be considered the Isle of Avalon, which is a really mythical and fantastical part of the Arthur legend. And all this was flooded, and it really was an island at one time, and people have been living there since the Iron Age.
Have they really?
Yeah, they found Iron Age.
Yeah, actually, they did.
Yeah.
There was buildings and that, and artifacts they found, wasn't there?
It's supposed to be the gateway to the land of the dead as well. I walked through. I didn't see any dead. No, just X Factor contestants' careers. That was the only thing I found in there. But yeah, it's supposed to be the land of the pharaohs as well. If you walk through that way. But it has got a fascinating history.
It fits in with Glastonbury well.
It's an exhausting walk. It was an exhausting walk. It really is a steep climb, but it was well worth the trip.
It was, yeah.
It was well worth a look. I really recommend going up and having a look.
Yeah.
There were people up there praying and chanting,
meditating,
burning incense and burning fires. Yeah, it's Glastonbury's a very spiritual place. You've got to be quite respectful of what's going on around you when you're in Glastonbury. You really have.
You see a lot of different sights.
You do. You do see a lot of different sights.
So we're still outside the White Springs in Glastonbury, which is just across the road from the Red Springs.
It's literally just across the road.
And it's very strange because the Red Springs run red from the iron deposits, and the White Springs run white from the calcite deposits.
Which I've never heard of. I've never heard of calcite before.
No, I haven't.
It must be calcium, some sort of calcium.
I would have thought so, yeah. But both are said to have healing qualities. They're both at the foot of the tour, and they're both very
spiritual.
Yeah.
There's people singing and praying here today.
Outside, yeah.
Leaving offerings and, well, just meditating and being spiritual in the area, really.
And the building it used to be a Victorian well house, which they built on the springs, but nowadays they've turned it into a temple, like you say, which they use to meditate.
They do, yeah.
So yeah, really spiritual.
We're not allowed inside to film that, obviously, because it is so spiritual.
Yeah, so we can just show the outside.
We can show the outside, but it is a fascinating place. It's well worth a look.
And there's lots of taps around here, and like a waterfall where the springs run onto the road, but people actually collect the water.
The water is flowing all down the street.
Yeah.
It just constantly pours out of the well, to be honest.
Yeah, so yeah, really interesting place.
It is an interesting place.
We just thought we'd like to show you this place quickly in Glastonbury. It's called the Covenstead Hotel, and it's meant to be like a pagan-themed hotel.
Well, a Covenstead is a place for witches to meet, so...
Yeah.
And they've got like rooms in there, haven't they? And places
Yeah, they got
can
like
do...
I think they've got like a temple room inside where you can sort of bring candles and incense, and there's meant to be sort of spell books and things like that around the place. It's meant to be really like very quirky and yeah, very interesting inside. We're still outside the George and Pilgrim Hotel in Glastonbury.
Yeah, you said it's one of the oldest hotels in the UK, isn't it?
It's claimed to be one of the oldest purpose-built hotels, in the UK.
Right.
It was built in the 15th century, and it was originally built for visitors going to see the Abbey.
You say it's haunted as well, isn't it? Allegedly.
It says it's haunted. It says there's also a skeleton inside.
Yeah, well, I looked into that. That turned out to be some sort of urban legend. There isn't.
But yeah, I mean, it changed its name in the 19th century to the George Hotel, and it's obviously still used as a hotel today and a pub.
We can't go in because obviously it's the second week of lockdown.
Yes.
Yeah, lockdown 2, electric boogaloo.
So everything's shut.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd like to show you the building. It's a nice building.
Yeah. Shame we can't go in for a beer.
Yeah. But we will have a beer somewhere.
We'll have a beer somewhere. Yeah. Lockdown's not going to stop our beer.
We stopped off in a supermarket on the way out of Glastonbury and we got our beers.
Gotta have a beer.
So we're now sat in a cold picnic area having a drink, but
It
we
is
are
cold.
having a drink.
It is cold. The wind's dropped, which is nice, but it is cold. I thought Glastonbury was an excellent place to visit. It was so different and quirky. If you're visiting the UK, I can't recommend visiting Glastonbury enough, to be honest with you. It really is a place you should see if you come to the UK.
There's something for everyone there, isn't there? It's historic.
It is.
And it's got myths and legends, and yeah, it's lovely.
You know, from the Abbey.
Yeah.
To the tour, the Chalice Well Gardens. It was a really nice place to visit. So much to see, we couldn't fit it in one video.
Yeah, there's loads to do there. So we did do 2 videos. So if you enjoyed this one, you can watch part 1 because we've already put that on YouTube.
I'll leave the link down below.
Yeah, but yeah, highly recommend it.
Excellent place to visit.
Yeah.
We're last seen somewhere. The last place we visited was Glastonbury.
Where will we be seen next?
Why not subscribe and find out?
Cheers.
Cheers.